right, can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So welcome to the Pre-Vet Club May meeting. This will be our last meeting of the semester. Hope you guys are having a good semester. I hope you guys are all ready for finals next week and had a good day of classes or last classes today. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, so today's meeting topics, we are first start with announcing officers for next year, and each officer is going to have, or each new officer is going to have the opportunity to introduce themselves if they want to, and then we're going to talk about member feedback. We have a form that I'll talk about in a minute. Then we're going to go over the vet school application website, VEMCAS, as well as VEMSAR, which is a tool that we'll talk about a little later. All right. Okay, club officers for the 2021-2022 school year are, all right, for public relations, we have Taylor, we have Angelina, treasurer, we have Hillary, vice president, we have Ocean, and president, we have Shelby. Thank you to all of those who ran and who voted. We appreciate your participation. And some votes were pretty close, but you guys, we got quite a few votes and we appreciate that. Now, I'll give each officer an opportunity to kind of introduce themselves, starting with Shelby. Did you want to go first?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Shelby. I am your current secretary, as you guys most likely already know. I am super excited to be next year's president. I already have some things lined up for next year, so I'm really excited. I think it'll be a good year. Hopefully we won't have to be online. I don't think we will, but who knows. But it should be a lot of fun and I'm excited. Thank you guys for your votes.
All right, awesome. Let me stop sharing while I do this so your face will pop up, because I don't think it will if I don't. Okay, did Ocean next? Is Ocean's here, right?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, you can go ahead next if you want.
Okay. Sorry if my internet's a little sucky, but thank you guys so much, as Shelby said, for voting for us. I'm super excited as well. I can't wait to get more involved, meet all of you guys. I really hope we're not online next year, just because I really want to participate in all the events and I want to see all the ideas that even the members have to offer. So I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for voting.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Ocean. All right, let's see. Hillary, did you want to go next?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I had trouble unmuting it. So hello guys, I'm next year's treasurer and I'm super stoked about this opportunity and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us, and thank you for voting for me.
All right, awesome. Okay, so next would be Angelina. Did you want to go next, Angelina?
Hi, my name is Angelina. I'm gonna be your secretary for next year and I'm really excited. I was also thinking about Sue. I hope it's not online. I heard that it's gonna go partially in person, so hopefully we can get some stuff together. But yeah, thank you guys for voting for me.
All right, and is Taylor in here? Oh. I don't see Taylor, but if she's able to join a little bit later, then she can introduce herself. All right, so congratulations to all of you. I hope you guys have a good semester and year. I hope that it's not online. I know it was a struggle this year being online, but I hope it's not that way for you guys next year. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. New officers, please stay at the end of the meeting if you could. If you can't, please let us know. All right, so let's go on to our meeting topics. So sorry, I don't know if you guys can see the top, but it says member feedback up here. And this is a Google form that we put together. We want to hear from you guys so that next year's officers already have that feedback and can kickstart things early next year. Basically, what the form is there's going to be a description of each type of thing that we did. as well as if you participated, if you did not, if you enjoyed it, if you did not, just that kind of thing. So we can kind of see, hey, members really liked this, where they didn't like this so much. And we have events on there like the donation drive that we did, the pet of the month, the Cahoots, everything. So we'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys could please fill that out, that would be great for next year's officers to have some feedback. All right. So I want to go ahead and get started with the main part of the meeting, which is the VEMCAS application. So has anybody not ever heard of VEMCAS? You have no idea what it is. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing. Okay, so we've all at least heard of VEMCAS, is that right? Okay, so for those who don't know, if anybody, VEMCAS is the application or the general application that's used to apply for vet school. And most schools do VEMCAS. There are a few that don't, or there are a few that also you have to submit their personal application as well as VEMCAS. So I kind of wanted to go through a sample application, and I will also be going on my personal one so you guys can kind of see what it's like. I don't know if any of you have ever started it or looked at it. And then we have these dates down here. May 12th, which is next Wednesday, is when you can start adding the schools that you're going to apply to. And the application is due September 15th. That's usually the same day every year. Okay, so let me. Okay, so this is the sample application. Can you guys see? It says welcome to VEMCAS.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, wanted to make sure. Okay, so I kind of want to, I'm going to go through this a little bit, and then I'm going to go to my personal one so you guys can see a little bit more detail, because this one is more like general and doesn't go through like the different drop-down menus and that kind of thing. I just want to show you guys as much as possible. So for those who have never seen VEMCAS, this is what the home page looks like. So this is where you would sign into your account, or if you don't have one, you would create one. And this PDF will be available for all of you guys. We're going to send out the slides like we always do, so no need to do screenshotting or anything. Okay, so it goes through this in detail, how to create an account. It literally walks you through everything. It's very detailed and helpful. And this is the 2022 sample application. So this one's the most up-to-date one. Okay. Once you guys have made an account, this is what your VEMCAS homepage would look like once you logged in. So 4 different sections here: personal information, academic history information, as well as program materials. That's where you would add your schools that you're going to apply. Okay, so it's first going to go through personal information, and there's different subsections. So this is where you would put in name and your contact information, citizenship, race and ethnicity, all that kind of stuff. It goes through each of those, which I am not going to. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just basically getting all your information in there. Okay. Going. Okay. So the next section is academic history. So this is where you're going to input what high school you went to, colleges. So if you went to a junior college as well as Fresno State or any other college you've attended, that's where you would put those, as well as enter your transcript information and where you would enter tests such as the GRE and the MCAT. Okay, so this is where you would add your, it wants general at your high school, like the name, city, state, did you graduate? And then from colleges, it wants more information. So you would add Fresno State and whatever other colleges that you have attended. It also wants like your degree type, your major, your minor. Did you finish that degree, or is it in progress? See degree or degree in progress. So if you're still working on it, if you're not graduating this spring, if you are applying right now, you're not graduating this spring, but you want to apply. So it would be a degree in progress right now. Okay. And then it wants your school system. So Fresno State is on the semester system, and attending or not. And if you're not still attending this college, what's the first and last semester dates? Okay. And this is an example of what it would look like once you have your multiple colleges entered. And then to order a script, I'll show you guys on my application is where you would go to order. And I'll show you which one Fresno State, because there's like 3 different types of transcripts that you can send. And there's like a hard copy you can send instead. I'll go over that in a little bit. I'll finish with the sample one first. Okay. And on top of submitting an official transcript, hopefully you guys have had to get an official transcript before to somewhere. I know that I have to do it for scholarships. So Fresno State has its own thing on how to request it. And there is a charge. I believe it's like $6. I can't remember the exact price, but it's along those lines to request an official transcript. And the MCAS has its own code, and it goes through and talks about how to send an official transcript right here that you can click on in the actual application if you need help with that. On top of submitting your official transcripts, you also need to add every class that you've ever taken with the class code, the class name, the type of class it is, how many units it was, and your grade. Even though they will get that on the unofficial transcript, you need to also enter it here, and that's per school. Okay, it kind of goes through what that looks like. So you would select the year, the academic status, and if you completed it, and you can also enter stuff that's still in progress as well. So this is kind of what it would look like: the course code, the title, the subject, the credits, and the grade. It calculates its own thing here. You can put, I believe, a percentage here instead of a letter grade as well. And any pluses or minuses. I don't think Fresno State does any A+ or B+ or anything like that. I think it's just straight A, B, C, D, whatever. So you would add all of it, and all of that stuff should be on your transcript if you don't know. Okay, and this kind of shows you more about adding it specifically. So that up here is what it would look like when it is entered. And here is how you would enter this. Okay. So standardized tests. So these are going to depend on which schools you're applying to, of course, because not all schools require the GRE. For example, UC Davis is still requiring it. They only look at the math section, I recently learned, but you do have to take the whole test and submit it. Western not requiring the GRE this semester or this year. They announced it under their like COVID rules if you're applying there. I don't know if it would help anyways. I know I'm taking it anyways for other schools, but require it. And something important to note is that some schools do require you to have the GRE done and submitted by date before the application is due. So check with the individual schools you're applying to. Instead of the GRE, some schools do accept the MCAT as well. So just, again, double check on what you're going to be doing. But if you are applying this year, I suggest getting this done as soon as you can. But study, of course, because some schools, I believe, I can't remember off the top of my head, but some of them is like August 1st, they need the score. So you need to have it done before then. Some of them it's August 18th. Even though the application is due September 15th, they need it. So just kind of keep that in mind, and you can find that on their individual websites. Okay, and then it goes into how to add your test. So, for example, the GRE, and if you've taken it or not. If you have not, it wants the date that you plan on taking it, and you can sign up for the GRE online. Some schools are also accepting the test at home option. So again, just double check with those schools. Okay, so the next section is supporting information This section also very important. That's where you're going to do your essay, your letters of recommendation. That's where you're going to put all of your experiences as well as any achievements that you might have. So this is the essay portion. This is what it looks like, and this is the they changed the essay format this year. I believe in the past it's been like multiple essays, but this one essay, why do you want to pursue a career in veterinary medicine? And then you can type it in this text box right here. It does say 1 page, this statement, and they give you some guidelines right here, but they honestly leave it up to you on whatever you want to type. Read that limits. I'll give you guys a little tip. I went to a UC Davis seminar, and they emphasized in this essay portion to talk about any hardship that you had to overcome that has led you to this, and if there has been. But they really emphasize that. So if you want to stand out a little bit, I'll give you that little tip right there that they gave to those who went to that seminar. Okay, letters of recommendation. So if you are applying this year, I would recommend getting your letters of recommendation as soon as possible. Many schools have different requirements as to who they can be from. I don't think any of them accept letters from family members, so no family members. I believe for most schools, it's at least 1 DVM, and some other, you need at least 3 usually. It looks like 3 requested recommendations is the minimum for VEMCAS. You can put in as much as 6 though. But some people that you could ask for a letter recommendation would be like an employer, maybe a professor that you're close with, somebody who knows you and knows your work ethic and who is going to give you a recommendation. And I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like once you do request it. Okay, so this is how you would request it. You would need their first name, their last name, their email address, because VEMCAS emails it directly to them. Like, you get this letter personally. You can't just ask somebody and they give it to you and then you turn it in. They have to submit it directly to VEMCAS. And you also pick a due date. I would suggest picking something sooner than September 15th, just in case that one doesn't get done by that date. You have a little bit of time. Like for my letters of recommendation, I chose sometime in July. Like that's enough time for them, and I requested it like April, March. So they give them plenty of time to do those. And make sure you talk to people first before asking this, because they're going to email and be like, I don't know what they're talking about. So just that they know that you're going to be requesting it before you do it, of course. Okay. This part is where you would enter any vet hours, any animal experience hours. This is where you would enter any club experience, like those who have participated in the vaccine and microchip clinic. You can count those as vet hours because O'Bannon was there. And that's where you would add this sort of thing. I'll go over more of that on my application. It's just easier to want to indicate what type of experience, the organization name. If you have an address, you can go ahead and add that. And the country and the state, of course. If you have the contact information, you can add that as well. And then it wants your start date, your end date, if this is current experience, and status is part-time, full-time, temporary. And then your, were you paid? Was it for academic credit? Was it volunteer? Your average number of weekly hours, your number of weeks, and the total hours. So you can't just type in total hours. You have to do it this way. And this is where you would describe what you did for that experience. Okay, so one new thing to add to the application this year is that of all your experiences you enter, you can select up to 5 as the most important experiences. So if you have like different types of experience and you have like 3 that are vet experience, you can highlight those, or whatever you think is the most important to highlight. And then the last section is achievements. any scholarships, any awards, and president's list or dean's list. And you can look up on Fresno State's thing. It will also say it on your transcript per semester if you got that award or not, if you're not sure. And you can add achievements, and you can also choose not to add any, because that's up to you. Okay, so that's a sample application. I did want to go through a couple things on my personal one. So let me share that really quick. Does anybody have any questions so far? I'm not an expert on VMCAS. I just wanted to give you guys some sort of information. Does anybody have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? Is anything confusing? No? Okay. So let me share to here. Okay, so this is my personal MCAS application. I've started it. I am applying this year. I haven't finished it, of course. I can't even add schools yet, so I can't finish it. So I'm not going to go through the personal information because that's personal information. And I will start with academic history. So it will have these marks once you've completed them. And I have not taken the GRE yet. It has a check mark here. So it has this green bar, as I said when I was going to take it. And so it's off. And each school has its own code to submit scores to the for the GRE. So make sure you know your school's code. I'm not going to be taking any of these other ones. Some of these are for like English and other things. You'd have to look to see what your school requires. But mainly the GRE is going to be the main one. So that's kind of what it looks like once you pick the date you're taking it, or it might be a little different if you've already taken it. Okay, so high schools attended, that's already in there. And then colleges have Fresno here. And you have to double check about transfer units. Like for example, I didn't attend Clovis Community College, but I did earn credit for college English through my high school because they worked with Clovis Community or whatever. So I have to kind of figure that out and how they want to go about me submitting grades for that. But to order an official transcript, you'll want to go to Fresno State's website, of course. I go here to order. I confirm which one of these the school has, and Fresno State does credential solutions. And then it will tell you how to do it. And then you would select, I ordered my transcript. All of the schools are saying, if you're applying now, wait until spring grades before you request an official transcript. So I think for Fresno State, that's like the beginning of June or something. So wait a little bit before you're sending your transcripts, okay? I think that's all I want to talk about in that section. And then supporting information. Okay, I already talked about the essay section. It's literally the same as that sample application. Letters of recommendation. So I already requested my 3 letters of recommendation. And this is kind of what it looks like. So it is requested and it has the date that I requested this letter. And I talked to all of these people before I submit these. And it had me give them a due date, which I mentioned earlier, I picked in July. So nobody has completed it yet, but they have a lot of time. So that's okay. And if I needed to, I can create another one. It says you can do up to 6. Okay, experiences. So this is what I was saying about the most important one. You can pick stars on these and pick your top 5 most important. And so this is how you would kind of go into it. So if I were to add another experience, it wants the type. So there's animal experience with no vet, employment. So that's any job that's not animal related. Extracurriculars would be what the club is. So I put, as a club member, I was the vice president and I was the president. So all of that is extracurricular. Any research projects that you've done, and vet experience, and just volunteer that's not animal related. They do like to see kind of a well-rounded person as well. So it doesn't have to be only animal stuff that you submit. It can be anything. You would type the name of the organization. So this is what I was saying about your status, full-time, part-time, or temporary. And it doesn't let you enter anything here, so I can't type anything. I have to type the number of hours and the number of weeks, and then it'll give you the total. And it's estimated, but sometimes they will request to contact the person who was there that you gave. If the hours seem so I don't suggest lying about it. As far as experience goes, I recommend that you guys try to get as much experience as possible before you start applying. And you want to get as diverse of an experience as possible. Like, for example, I have a lot of small and exotic animal experience through my work, but not a lot of large animals. So I've been applying to the zoo and large animal hospitals to try to get an internship experience that kind of is a little bit different from what I'm already doing. Yeah, I have enough hours, but it's all with one type of animal, if that makes sense. So like I have my SPCA volunteer, I have research that I did. I have different jobs that I've had. I have all of the club stuff. So you guys can enter all of that in there to make yourself as competitive as possible. And then this is where you can add achievements like scholarships, if you're on the president's list, on the dean's list, all that good stuff. And you can choose not to add any achievements. It's up to you. Okay. So at the over here is where I was saying program materials. That's when you can start adding schools, May 12th. So you can't do it yet. On May 12th, that's next week. And then it will give you prices of what that's going to cost total. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to go over as far as my personal application. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything? Okay, really quick, I wanted to go back to the slides. Give me just a second here. Close that out. Okay. Okay, like I mentioned, application due date is September 15th. This top link is that sample application. This is the link to VEMCAS itself. Okay, if you guys have questions or don't understand, or you have like personal questions about the application, this is VEMCAS customer support, the phone number, the email, and their hours. This is also a video of the board members or whatever going over the entire application. There's 2 links, but I just gave you one. This was one in March, but they're really detailed and they can give you tips as well, like sprinkled in there. All right, so I will go ahead and let Maria take over. I'll stop screen sharing so you can go ahead, Maria.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, guys, so I'm going to talk about VEMSAR. So VEMSAR is pretty much an application that kind of helps you compare the different schools that you're looking into. I found it really helpful. I just learned about the website a few weeks ago, and it's really helpful. So basically, when you open up that link that's on the slide that Jessie has on there, you'll come up to this, which is just like the main homepage directory of the website. And so I'll kind of go through all the little things. So right here on the left side, you have the filters. So it tells you like you can click if you have a bachelor's degree, if it requires a bachelor's degree, if interview is required, if the GRE is required. And so like if you click yes, it'll filter all the schools that require the GRE for you. And then if you click like the interview part or the bachelor's, same thing. The way I kind of found it helpful was if you go to this, so if you click on that second one, it takes you to the general information chart. And this chart just kind of breaks down all the schools. This one's a little bit more, at least for me, it was a little bit more hard to go based off this one. I'll show you guys the way I found it easier afterwards, but This chart is helpful. It shows you tuition. It shows you how many seats available, how many people apply. It shows you if they require the GRE here, and then it literally pulls up the web address to every single school. So you don't have to even like go search it up. You can literally click from this chart right here. So this one's a little bit more hard, I think, in my opinion, but then you have this prerequisite chart. So this one, what I did is, this is literally gonna break down every single school, the requirements that are needed. So what I did is I printed out the whole packet, and it's like maybe, how many pages is this? It's like maybe 15 or 20 pages, I'm not sure. But I printed it out and I just went through and highlighted the schools that I was interested in. And then I highlighted the classes I had already taken. And then from there, let me go back here. Sorry, I forget how to use this. Okay, and then from there, when you're like, when you know the schools that you're interested in and you kind of highlighted, went through and make sure you know you meet the requirements and you're going to meet the requirements, then you can use this cost comparison tool. Let's see. Where did it go? Sorry. I'm having issues. Okay, anyway, I don't know how to do it that way now. Let me go back here. So you could just enter, like, for example, I was doing Colorado. So I did Colorado, and so what you can do after you choose that school, you can go in here and it shows you their school description, their program description. So it just kind of goes over an overview of what they like, of just their description, their general vet program description. And then right here, it shows you all their entrance requirements, and it's pretty cool. Like, it shows you the experience requirements, the letter of recommendation. So sometimes for some of the schools, you kind of have to search the website and figure out what each one needs. So I thought this was most helpful because it kind of has everything there in one spot. And it also shows you the deadlines here. So it'll show you all the deadlines, the VMCAS deadline, when it's open, when it's closest, and then if any schools has like the application, the separate application that you have to turn in, it shows you that as well. And then the acceptance rate, this one's pretty cool too. It breaks down the average GPA. So like Colorado, the average is 3.63. And then the number of applicants that applied the previous year, and the number of applicants that got selected. So that's pretty cool. Then you can press this little compare icon. And so what I'm doing now is I'm going to compare two schools, or if you wanted to do 3, you could do as many as you want. You can make a list of all the schools you want to compare. But I was doing Colorado and Texas, and so it'll show you here if it requires the VMCAS application, if the bachelor degree is required, if an interview will be typically required, and then the GRE, as well as if they accept international students, which they both do. And then it gives you the tuition comparison. I think that's the most helpful in terms of comparing the two schools. So you're able to compare what the tuition looks like for each school. And like I said, you can add more schools if you wanted to, and then kind of go off from there. Another thing that's on this website is a scholarship. Let me show you how to get to that. To go back, you can go to the go-to. It gets easier once you've navigated it. Okay, so here's the external scholarship stuff. So it leads you to this website, which will show you scholarships that are available for each school. So if you wanted to do like AVMA accredited scholarships, you can look at this AVMA one, and then it just kind of breaks down. You just kind of have to navigate through the website to kind of figure out where everything's at, because there's so much information on there. But there's scholarships. There's literally like names all the scholarships that each school has, and then it shows you what person got the scholarship. It's pretty cool. It doesn't tell you how much the scholarship, or like if it's a full scholarship. I think like if you go on to apply for that actual scholarship, it might tell you then, but like in general basis, it doesn't tell you. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I found helpful. There's a lot of information, like I said, like there's news and events and stuff like that. Like you can find events going on. So like seminars I found on there as well. So that's helpful too, but you kind of just have to navigate through all these little tabs here that'll help you. But what I found most helpful, like I said, was finding out about the scholarship stuff, and like, because a lot of the times it's like, okay, like there's a scholarship available for each, like I know there's scholarships available, but how do I get there? So this one's really helpful. And then it's just, you can search up avmf.org, or you can go the other way through the DEMSAR too. Other than that, I think the comparison tool is pretty cool. And like I said, that packet is going to be nice to have, so that you're able to highlight all the courses you have completed for whichever courses. Do you guys have any questions about the website at all? No? Okay. I'll stop sharing so Jesse can take over.
All right. All right, that's pretty cool. I didn't know about the scholarship part. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. So this was the link to that website. Okay. And then Shelby, go over this a little bit, or just mention it.
Hi. Okay, so the next two slides are a couple of different opportunities for you guys. Two different people reached out to us through email. This first one is Dr. Chris Mortensen. He is actually a Fresno State alumni, and he launched this vet school application prep course, and gave us the link to all the information for that. There's some more information about him himself, what he does and his specialties and stuff like that. So you guys can go into that link right there to the document, and there are links in that document as well to get to the actual prep course if you guys would like. The next one. So this one is from Vince, which is actually the guest speaker we had in January's club meeting. He's offering 40% off on the course. I put down there, not sure if the offer is still valid, but I actually just got word from him that it is. So there are some links and stuff there for you guys to check that out. This is for GRE though, not vet school, but there's still both really good opportunities. I think that's it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Just want to remind the new officers to please stay in the Zoom meeting. Okay. I just wanted to go over a little bit of, I just want to say a little something since this is my last club meeting. So I want to start off by saying thank you to my fellow officers. Thank you guys for working together as a team to help bring the best meetings and events to the club members that we could. I also want to thank all of you club members who stuck with us during this year of the pandemic. I know it's not easy, but I want to thank those who participated in meetings, Pet of the Month, the fundraising, donation drives, all of the cahoots that we played. I know they haven't been that exciting and there hasn't been too many events going on, like our usual vaccine and microchip clinic and the vet school tours, but I appreciate all of those who showed up to the meetings and got involved as much as possible, even with everything being virtual. I know we all worked really hard to give our members the best experience possible, and I hope all of you members enjoyed this year with the Pre-Vet Club. I really enjoyed my time as an officer over the past 2 years. I've made a lot of memories. We even got to be a part of creating new events like the donation drives, the FPD Canine Tour that we did last year, and the Dinner with Doctors, which I hope I will get to attend next year. I won't be graduating until next spring, so if you guys need anything, I'll be around. Good luck on finals, everyone, and good luck to those applying to vet school. Thank you all again. All right, any other officers wanted to say a little something or anything?
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to say same thing. Thank you to everyone who stuck with us during this hard time. Like I know, like Jesse said, there was not many events that we could participate in, sadly. The hardest one was not being able to do the microchip clinic, which we know you guys all would have loved to do for those hours. Sorry about that. And thank you to all the officers that helped getting the meetings as exciting as they could get. Yeah, thanks all. And I'm here to help anyone that needs it. And Ocean, I'll be in touch with you to go over some of that stuff.
All right, anybody else? Anybody have any questions? Or you guys can also type them in the chat too. Thank you, Reagan, for reminding me to record. Appreciate it. I'll stop recording now.